were given to him by the Northerners. One, that he should arrest all the coupists and eliminate them. That was number one. Now, Aguirre, in order to unify the federal civil service, not the regions, but the federal civil service, so that he can follow the military command of command, control, and communication, in order to put the country in a stable way before probably talking about administration. Now, enacted the Decree 34, Unification Decree. And this decree was one thing that led the Fulani-led government of the time that had a vacuum, because they never wanted the government to be handed over to anybody. You remember Ahmad Bello's comment, ruthlessly prevented not to hand over to anybody. So when an Igbo man became the head of state, they felt that it was Igbo people that flawed Igbo, whereas it was not just Igbo. And now Igbo man became the head of state. They get furious. And he now unifying with that unification decree. They forgot to know that he was not unifying the regions. It was only unifying the federal civil service. But they asked him to withdraw that unification decree. In fact, the northern elders asked Hassan Osman Kassina, the then Kaduna, the northern governor, the military governor, to tell Aguirre to withdraw that unification decree. Otherwise, they would declare Northern Nigeria Republic from the rest of Nigeria. So that was done. But because he did not do what they wanted, they gathered, and you all know the story. He was killed in Ibadan. And a Nembe man also was killed alongside him. That Nembe man was the orderly to Brigadier Zakaria Maimalabi too, and was also an orderly aide-de-camp to Aguirre in the Congo War in 1960. That Nembe man was still the same Gueststop Stephen. But Gueststop Stephen was not part of that death. Another Nembe man from Okpoma, whose name was Watson Dewario, was also killed, which many people do not know. And from that moment that Aguirre was killed, Motala became the ringleader that was the one leading to that second massacre, which they call the second coup. And when they killed him, they started killing people from barracks. They did not only do that. Every pregnant woman that is from this territory, if they catch you, they butcher you, bring the child, cut the head of the child like that. Some people, they put them with sticks, pin them with sticks, behead them, put the sticks on. These are things that were very gruesome, that they have hidden those histories. Now, at the time, Ojukwu was the head of state, was the governor of the Eastern region. So when this scenario unfolded, Ojukwu told Aguirre that he should be careful with using the North to be his aide. But Aguirre, being a patriotic man, the Igbos are very patriotic people. Sorry to say for others that may hate them, I don't care. But they are very patriotic people. Because of their patriotism, they were not seeing this danger. They were still talking about one Nigeria at the time. But when Ojukwu, being the governor, they made Gowon to be the head of state. Ojukwu said no, Gowon can never be the head of state. I'm summarizing into two. Ojukwu cannot be, Gowon cannot be the head of state. The reason is, Gowon was a lieutenant colonel after other Eastern lieutenant colonels. Then there were two senior officers from Yoruba land, Brigadier Babafemi Ogundipe and another Colonel Adebayo. So Ojukwu was saying that, look, at the death of Aguirre, let it be that the position follows the military ranking. That they should give to Babatope, the Yoruba man, to be the head of state, since he's the highest living person at the time. Otherwise, Adebayo, if Ogundipe will not take this, or else to the other lieutenant colonels that are before Gowon. But no, they will not, until even the American ambassador, Albert Matthew, the British High Commissioner, Sir Comin Bruce, all of them pressed on Motala. In fact, Motala and Major Martin Sadamu had written an address for Northern Nigerian Republic, handed that address to Gowon, who in turn handed that document to MD Yusuf, the then police special operation head. MD Yusuf is Mohammed Diko Yusuf. He was handed over to. And when he was given, he now handed that same document to his cousin, Justice Bello, at that time, who came to Lagos for corruption investigation in the Ministry of Communication or so, who saw the danger too, because already the British people have told them that they amalgamated the South and the North in order to use the wealth of the South to encourage that of the North. And that if they should break out at that time, they will suffer. So the British High Commissioner even told Motala and his Martin Adamu, that if they leave that moment, they will suffer, so they should not. And that if Brigadier Ogundipe became the head of state, it will gather the world against the North. And so that is how they worked until they pacified their mind with Yakubu Gowon. Which is why when Ojukwu said no, it could not be because of his rank, they double promoted Yakubu Gowon into Major General. From Lieutenant Colonel, they bypassed Colonel, they bypassed Brigadier and made him Major General. That is why Gowon became Major General. Now, with this contest between the Eastern governor and that of the federal government led to the Ghanaian president of that time, the Ghanaian military head of state, Lieutenant General Joseph Ankara, to invite Ojukwu and his team and that of the federal government to Aburi. And when they went to Aburi, Ojukwu presented a very fantastic document which, if Gowon had kept, we would not have been talking what we are talking today. But that document was a Confederate Republic of Nigeria. You go back and study what Confederate Republic is. Because of time, I will not be able to go into that details. So when they returned back, Ojukwu told Gowon that if Gowon will come and implement that document, he can now work with him. Gowon even stood up and embraced him. They were all comrado there. When they returned back, Ojukwu, because of that, felt that he has gone to make peace, right? Yeah. So he now announced to the Eastern regional people, those who escaped from the North, that he has made peace so they can go back to their areas of where they survived. Unfortunately, for those who listened to him, when they went back to their areas in the North, a month later, they were massacred. Ojukwu died without guilt. Ojukwu died without guilt. Our father died without guilt. And when that happened, a Nembe people, the Nembe Ezon man, my own king, Mingiten, now called Ojukwu, in Port Harcourt, the king of Nembe, His Royal Majesty Osamade Francis Joseph Alagwa, Mingiten of Nembe, called Ojukwu to Port Harcourt. They met in Port Harcourt. And it was the Mingiten of Nembe that told him, you've done your best. That we thought, because Gowon, when he returned back, the federal government, BBC now made another recalcitrant publication or broadcast that the three governors and the head of state has bowed down to Ojukwu. So when they made that statement, it now made the northern elders call for Gowon, asked him what document did he go to sign. When they showed him, because they have been schooled by the British people, when he showed them rather, they say, no, you have to withdraw from such document, go back to one Nigeria. So out of that, Gowon went to the public, in his public address, said he cannot stand by that Aburi Accord, that go on with one Nigeria. So Ojukwu on his part said, no, on Aburi we stand. And because it became an impromptu thing, and at the point in time, they were still killing our people. They were massacring our people, even putting them in vehicles down to Port Harcourt, down to Onitsha, down to Umuahia, down to Aba. That is what they were doing. They had the free will. And because Gowon cannot stop them, which is the reason the Mingiten of Nembe now met Ojukwu, and the Portuguese called this extrusion of the southern part into the sea, Biafra. The Portuguese called that area Biafra, although Biafra existed long before them. Are you understanding? Yes. But in the modern nomenclature of this territory, which is why if you look at the old Nigerian map, from Bayelsa down to the east to Akwa Ibom, we have this as Bat of Biafra. Then from Bayelsa to the west, we have Bat of Benin. Then the old water is called the Gulf of Guinea. So because our king felt that the Bat of Biafra involves his own kingdom, and to be an all-inclusive thing, he took it to Ojukwu and said, look, Gowon cannot protect us anymore. So use this name and call the eastern region, which includes us, as Biafra, to be a country of our own away from Nigeria. That is one thing we have to mention here clearly. I'm mentioning this so that our Igbo cousins too will understand. Ojukwu did not wake up to just declare it, because he's a very trained historian and a senior military officer. So he asked my king, did you discuss this with your coastal elders? That's number one. Two, he told them that if he declares, the Nigerian side will wage war, because one, it was an impromptu thing that we never planned for, and that we have not even done international consultation. We don't even have money. But because when you